Before this episode of Slash and Cast, we have a quick announcement.
This Friday, March 10th at PAX East, Friday the 13th is hosting a panel that is going to have some massive reveals and huge updates. So this Saturday, March 11th, we're having a very special episode of Slash Cast. It's going to break down that entire panel and give you every update quick and easy. So make sure you subscribe and check it out then.
With all that being said, though, enjoy this episode of Slash and Cast.
What's going on, horror fans? Welcome to another episode of Slash and Cast. My name is Riley. That is Nick. And today, surprisingly, we have no news about Friday the 13th or Friday the 13th, the game. Yeah, I know. It's weird. We're actually opening up with American Horror Story, which, as you know.
Yeah, we just talked about that last week, about how it's going to be part of our election that we just went through, the United States 2016 presidential election.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest questions we brought up when we started talking about that was, will Trump be in it? Will Clinton be in it? Well, Ryan Murphy came back and gave us another quote revealing that they will not be in the show. It's a real big bummer, you know. He literally said, you will not see Trump or Clinton as characters on the show. But he said that I think people literally think Sarah Paulson is playing Hillary Clinton, and I wanted to clarify that is not true, okay? Horror Story is always about allegory, so the election is allegory. It's our jumping off point. It's about the election we just went through and what happened on that night and the fallout of that night, which to many people from all sides of the camps is a horror story. And you know, that show is always so fun when it's about the zeitgeist and what we're doing now. Hey, you know, simple as that.
Yeah.
He also went on to say that, it's really, really fun. It starts election night, and that's all I'll say. It's very scary that night for many people. It's fun. You will like it. It's really a season that will have a lot of people interested. I think there's something for everybody in that season. I can already feel the controversy and the amount of, I don't know, triggered reactions this is going to cause.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it depends how they go about it. I really don't see a way that they don't find hate, you know?
Right.
Because, I mean, especially now, man, you say the word Trump and there's outrage. You say the word Clinton, there's outrage. You know,
Bernie,
anything. It doesn't matter. There's outrage because people, it's not just people willing to discuss. It's something so far left and so far right. And I don't know how they're going to approach this in a way that's actually going to work for their benefit.
Right.
But, I mean, it's obviously a very well-discussed topic, so it does bring interest. And as you said last week, you know, there's a chance that it brings in a whole new audience.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's a chance that it throws away a whole new audience. It is too bad that we're not going to see a Hillary or a Trump. But we figured as much.
Yeah.
But it is pretty clear that there's going to be a character that represents them. You know, I just don't know how you make this a horror story. You go from that night, so it's election night, and you move onward. I mean, do you see anywhere that could really go?
No, I have no idea where they could take it.
Yeah, it just seems, I don't know, man. They're more creative than I am. They've done some crazy stuff. But yeah, it seems so. It's going to go from there, and then they still have season 8 and 9 confirmed as well. So, American Horror Story, there is still no release confirmed yet, and there's really no plot details. Just the fact that it is the election and it begins on election night. Other than that is it. All right? Let's go move on to another controversial topic, and that is Jeepers Creepers 3. We've talked about it several times. Okay, we usually like to leave this alone because the thing is, Jeepers Creepers 3 was done. It was confirmed complete. Now they're back in production for apparently what is Jeepers Creepers 3. I don't know if they're reshooting or something just fell apart when they already had production before.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a huge mess when it comes to news Jeepers Creepers 3. But they are shooting right now. And one of the biggest things going on is that people are pissed that Victor Salva is allowed to direct the film. I don't know if you guys know this, all right? But in 1988, under his power of being a director, Victor Salva did rape a 12-year-old boy, okay? And he did serve 15 months, which a lot of people think is not nearly enough. And I can understand where they're coming from, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, he did, had to slowly get back into society, like what you'd expect. You know, he's still on list. He's,
Yeah.
But, yeah, now he's, 30 years later, he's moving back into things. And yeah, so he is directing. He did write Jeepers Creepers 3, and the petitions are all over the place.
How many years ago again was that?
That would have been in '88. So I mean, a long time ago.
No, I do not get the outrage that's going on. Well, I get it, but it's not justified at this point. 30 years later?
Yeah. It's, I understand it. There's no point where, you raped a 12-year-old boy, that is okay. There's not a point where that's okay. All right? Like, you're not ever going to be innocent again.
But he's not like he got away with it. He wasn't innocent.
Yeah, he did serve his time, but it wasn't very long, arguably. And I don't know. The thing is, I would understand if this was, like, not just him being targeted. Dude, in Hollywood, there are some bad dudes working in Hollywood. People, like, the whole rape and sexual abuse thing has been all over the place, including domestic abuse. And those people work just fine in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that this arguably small-time director, I know Jeepers Creepers was a big deal. 1 and 2 made over, $500 million. And, the fact that, I get it, it's kind of big, but he's still a small-time director. Hasn't done too much in his career, arguably, especially since 1988. So, yeah, I don't know. Why we decided to the horror community's coming together for it, and I'm not against it. I understand it. Like, I'm not going to be mad at anybody, like, oh, you're trying to take down this rapist and not let him direct a movie. Like, it doesn't bother me. It's just not something that I'm, like, freaking out over, Now, another more news came out, okay, that horror icon Adrienne Barbeau was officially in the film, okay? At least it seemed that way. And she was originally set to play the character Galen Brandon, okay? And now here is a quote here, okay? From her, she tweeted this out. Contrary to what has been reported, I will not be joining the cast at Jeepers Creepers 3. It's a great script, and if you like the first two, you'll love this one. Okay. So instant speculation, like, okay, you were casted. What happened? I don't understand. If it's a great script, why aren't you doing it? She said it's a great script.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah, like I said, instant speculation. Bloody Disgusting hints at the fact that she dropped off because of what's going on with Victor Salva. And do you blame her? I don't know.
It was 30 years ago.
He
served his time.
Right.
He went through the counseling. He went through everything. It's done. It's his past. He's trying to move forward.
Yeah. Well, what I find it interesting, he did the first two,
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't want to be the one to say what I think is right or wrong because I understand both sides completely. I do. And it's not my position to say what is right, but I do understand Adrienne's decision to walk away if that's the case in order to avoid controversy for her career. Okay, she's a horror icon herself, and if she's on board to support someone who is hated as a child rapist, okay, it makes it makes sense that she'd step away. Now, she did not say that's why she stepped away. Okay, it just seems awkward that the petition that's been going out, which already has thousands and thousands of people signing it, that she steps away after that. It seems to me that's why she did. Once again, it's not my place to say. It just seems like that. Okay, let's please move on to less controversial topics. Ash versus Evil Dead. And we haven't talked about Ash versus Evil Dead since the MWM project, probably.
Right.
For real.
Right.
Now, we just learned, since they're going into Season 3, that Ariel Carver O'Neill has officially joined the cast of Ash vs. Evil Dead for the upcoming season as a series regular, okay? Not just some cameo appearance, as a series regular. O'Neill will play the character of Brandy, and this is quotes here, a smart and middle-class American high school senior whose life is upended when she finds herself caught up in a violent, demonic events.
Wow.
Yeah. Ash vs. Evil Dead is fantastic. I know you haven't seen it yet. You should. It's great.
It's on the list.
Yeah, if you like Evil
definitely.
Dead, the revival of Bruce Campbell is just, it's great.
Yeah.
It's what we needed. Now, at this point, there are no more than 3 seasons officially announced, but Campbell previously stated that, I'll take 5. All right? I'll take 5 seasons. No one's going to burn out at 5. I got this a lot. Hey, so Burn Notice ran like 5 seasons, right? I'm like, no, it ran 7. They were like, oh, okay. And what it really meant was that stopped at watching after 5. And every show has a burnout factor. The cast burns out. The show gets too expensive. Writers run out of ideas. Viewership declines, of course. Every show has its arc. And yes, absolutely. I'm glad he's very aware of that.
Yeah.
That's really key. That's the same thing that went for like Bates Motel. You know, be willing to accept when things need to come to an end. And I mean, shows that don't accept that, The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And look at the fall off. It happens. There's just nothing you can do about it.
And that's something I hope that a lot of people are starting to recognize. Stranger Things, I hope they don't stretch out Stranger Things. Even we talked about this.
Season 2.
Season 1 was enough as its own series. I'm fine with them going to a season 2, I guess, if they know when to quit without dragging out the story.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, the money's there. It's always going to be there. That's the only thing that would keep them going.
Yeah.
And same thing here.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're always going to make profit off of Stranger. If the Stranger Things keeps going, it will make profit. I mean, same with this show. It will continue to make profit.
Yeah.
It's just, if you really care about your story and what you're driven, you're going to realize when you need to call it quits.
Right.
And I'm really proud that, that he has the ability to say, no. Mm-hmm. No more. We do no more. All right, let's go and move on to our next line of news here. Saw Legacy. I mean, we've been talking about this a lot recently, and really there's also some controversy lying around this one because another franchise return, and franchise returns have been
awful.
Sorry.
Not been good.
Well, really, we've only gotten one legit one, and we've got several coming, and we got the canceled Friday the 13th. So far, it's been pretty disastrous.
Mm-hmm.
But the upcoming 8th entry into the franchise has been coming along for a while. And the description of Saw right now, okay, if Saw 8 happens to be, bodies turning up around the city, each having met a uniquely gruesome demise. As the investigation proceeds, evidence points to one man, John Kramer. But how can this be? The man on the Jigsaw has been dead for over a decade, or has an apprentice picked up the mantle of Jigsaw, perhaps even someone inside the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's seriously, that could be the exact description for Saw 5 and Saw 6.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to tell you. Like what? Buy because I seriously got a comment the other day. It was like, all right, so buy the Saw description. How do you think it's gonna be? Like what description? That's a Saw 8 description? Oh, I thought that was like the Saw 5. Like it seriously sounds exactly the same. So, but what it does indicate, and this was a big announcement, is that Tobin Bell should be portraying Jigsaw within Saw Legacy. So cool. I this didn't even sound like news to me because I was fully expecting Tobin Bell to come back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess Tobin Bell is in it. Now, rumor has it they're gonna try pulling something to bring him alive. And I don't know. Have you seen all the Saw movies?
Not all of them. Half of them.
I don't blame you.
You warned me.
He straight up has his head off.
Yeah.
In one of the movies.
Yeah.
Like he had his throat slit. So if they go to a prequel or something, it says right there a decade later.
Mm-hmm.
It's a copycat. I don't know. Nothing other than a copycat. Do not do it, please, Jesus.
Yeah.
So once again, the team of Josh Stolberg and Peter Goldfinger were hired on to pen the script of Saw Legacy. In addition to that, Saw franchise creator James Wan and Lee Winnell are on board. Believe it or not,
on board,
on board as executive producers, which means they just toss a little bit of money.
Yeah,
and Michael Peters Spierig direct. Saw Legacy will be arriving in theaters on October 27th of 2017.
Can't wait.
I don't know. It's basically sounds like it's going in a reboot style.
Yeah,
and that just seems kind of like a horrendous idea.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, anything to make money.
True.
Anything to make money. All right, we got one more small little story here before we move on. The only reason we really want to talk about this is because it's been spread on Facebook like crazy. I don't know why people make such a big deal about this, but they are. Heather Langenkamp had an interview with TooFab recently and was talking about basically the remake, how she feels about the future of Nightmare on Elm Street and whatnot. And we got a few quotes we want to share with you about old Heather Langenkamp here. Now, she was talking about Robert Englund here and said, I'd love to go back in time and do another film with him, referring to Robert. I love nothing more than that, which is great. Keep that back in time in there, okay? It's like, it's not like she wants to do it in the future,
yeah,
but she does bring that back up. Hold on. Now, she also added that she has never seen the 2010 remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Good for her. I don't blame
Can't
her.
blame her.
But it wasn't like, oh, I heard it was so bad. This is what she actually says, okay? I can't let go of my own vision of A Nightmare on Elm Street. I just don't want to. I don't want to see another person play Freddy Krueger. I don't want to see the scenes that we worked really hard on to be reimagined. I respect their reason for doing it, but I don't want to have it in my imagination or my mind. Those memories are so precious to me. I was a teenager when I made that movie, so it's so formative. My friendship with Robert Englund is so important to me that I don't need it. You got to respect that.
Yeah.
I think she's more like, it's going to be crap, and I don't want it to ruin my image. Because she loves Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, it's a franchise that she's always adored. And that remake is arguably the worst in the entire franchise. Yeah. I wish we had a review of it originally. It got pulled off of our channel. We might do another one in the future. But yeah, we had a remake versus original, and we tore it apart.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she went on to talk about Hellraiser Judgment, which last time we talked about Hellraiser Judgment, we zoned out the fact that Heather Langenkamp was in it.
Mm-hmm.
We were well aware of it, just kind of like threw it to the side.
Yeah.
But Langenkamp went on to talk about it, says, I'm anxious to see what I look like in that. The script was great. I really liked it, and I thought it was really creative. To see one that comes across the page as being very bizarre and fresh was the main attraction for me. The last time we talked about Hellraiser Judgment, it was the fact that they were not able to find anyone to distribute it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, even if they do, like the director was saying this, even if they do, I'm not going to know about it, and it's going to go like straight to DVD or something like that. So we had the impression that it was garbage, right? So if it really was a great script, and I trust Langenkamp's judgment, not saying I don't, but it seems like, I don't know, they failed somewhere in the directing process, the editing process. I just don't, if a script's really good, and I think people are starting to realize that original horror is an important thing.
Yeah.
I just don't see why someone wouldn't distribute it. But hey, that's a discussion for a different day. We're just going to focus on Langenkamp. Now, she also went on to say, when she was asked to do another Elm Street film, okay, that I would never say no to the option of doing something like that. It's a great universe, and it's one of the most creative franchises. There's more to be made, I'm sure. I think at this point in her career, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not working a crazy ton anymore. It makes a lot of conventions appearances now. Yeah. I wish she would do more. I mean, she does. She hits the three best ones. The first one, the third one, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare are the best in the franchise.
Yeah.
So why not? If you're gonna do another one before Robert can't do anymore, get Heather Langenkamp back in there.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. That would make my life. That's like my little boy dream. Yeah. With all that, that is all for Slashercast today. Hey, you. Thanks for watching this episode of Slashercast. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and click that box right down there to check out last week's episode.
Also, if you want to check out the film the fans are calling the best fan film of all time, make sure you click that box right down there to check out our Friday the 13th fan film.
While you're at it, click that circle right there to subscribe to our channel. Never miss a video again.
As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.